Well, hello everybody. Woohoo! Crowd goes wild. Welcome to Choice Change in Action podcast. And you know why the crowd is going wild? Because I have one of my most phenomenal, wonderful, amazing, intelligent, humorous, charming, handsome friends on, Mr. Christopher Hughes.
Oh my
Welcome.
God, stop. That's like so much.
It's all true. Every single one of those words that I use to describe you is true, Mr. Christopher.
Well, I would describe you as brilliant, inspiring, attuned, aligned, aware, kind, generous, and damn sexy.
Damn, girl. Thank you.
Hmm.
Oh, well, it's clear that we adore each other and we've been friends for quite some time now. And I am super grateful for you and Happy New Year, all that stuff. We're now into mid January 2026. How does it get any better than this? I'm weirdly more relaxed and happy than I've been in a really long time. So I'm taking that and running with it. I'm having a really nice time at home. How's your 2026?
Honestly, same. I have had a real reluctance to getting back to work, quote unquote, because I am so deeply woof, chilled and relaxed.
Mm,
But I'm ready and
yeah,
excited to see what's next and where to go.
good. So, what's next and where to go? You did the other day. This is what sparked this podcast, and we'll put it in the show notes. It was like a soft launch to a new specialty within Access Consciousness on leadership, and it's got David Kubis, Megan Hill, and Christopher Hughes. And I happened to catch it in the kitchen, having breakfast, cleaning my kitchen as well, and it was fucking brilliant. So I really am asking that you all watch it. If you want to, it's going to be in the show notes. But what I loved about it is the three of you are quite different, and yet you're heading in the same direction. You just maybe getting there, navigating that in a different way. And there's a couple of things that you said in there that I would like to expand on because, as I said, I have been a friend of yours. You know, you've been a friend of mine for quite a long time now, and I see there's a few places that I have like extra admiration for you in how you choose. And one of them I'm going to say is in business. I watch how you deal with your business, like as in we've got shops together in Brisbane, the Antique Guild, and how you deal with staff and how you make choices and how you navigate it and how you pivot and how you handle what shows up, right? And then the one thing that you mentioned on this is really choosing like what sort of world do you want to live in? And I
Mm.
have known you for a really long time and I've seen you go, I want that. I want to get married. I want to have this. I want to have that. I want this. And then you actually create it. And it might not be instantaneously, but as you request something, I see how you have things that show up. And I'm not saying like Chris has definitely had some rocky roads, you know. It's like, but that's the beauty of success and the beauty of leadership is when you do stumble and fall and you hit some rocky roads, you go, okay, what am I going to choose now? Am I going to, pack up my shit and just and crumble and fall, or am I going to create a different possibility here? And that's sort of what I wanted to expand in here. So I want you to, if you could expand on the whole energy of what is the world that you would like to live in, Chris?
Mm. Well, when I look around the world today, there's plenty to be grateful for, and there's actually a lot of really awesome stuff and inspiring people out there doing cool things. And there's some gnarly shit going down, like wars, and we're living in an era where you might not love who's in power here, there, and everywhere. The Putins, the Netanyahus, the Trumps of the world, who all seem to be, let's just say they have their hand in the cookie jar. They're kind of going, I want this. Where like the headlines for the last week have been sort of an echo again of Trump going, oh, yeah, Greenland should be ours.
Yeah. In
And
Canada.
Mexico and whatever. And I think one of the weirdest things that I don't understand that these people all seem to be choosing is that hand in the cookie jar energy, or that like greed is good mentality. This righteous entitlement to, I want to have that. Um, so I'm just going to take it by force. It's so weird to me, Simone, because the what I see and the world that I want to live in is a world where we recognize that there's actually more than enough, and there's more than enough for all of us, and none of us need to kill and take to dominate and control to have more,
Mm.
as though that's going to, I don't know, this weird sense of power that we have been almost like taught to believe we should have. And like you said, you talked about that leadership call that we did, and I'd love people to have a look at what leadership is. And the purpose of that whole thing is to empower people to get that no matter where you are in life, or what your job is, or what your influence is, you can be a leader. Like, we love to look at things around leadership and go, oh, well, that's for people in leadership's positions. And we have this definition of what that is, or we go, well, I'm a janitor or I'm a housewife. That's not for me. But my perspective is no matter who you are, you can lead
Yes.
by making choices for the world you want to live in, as you said. And I would like to live in a world where that righteous entitlement and greed is good mentality no longer reigns supreme, because I don't want those people in power anymore. I would love to have a kind of generous benevolence that saw us in like enjoying sharing what we have and not needing to hoard anything.
So I have something here I want to read out, but first I want to ask you is, uh, it's like I see a lot of people, like as you mentioned, politics. I don't actually. There's no country that I go, oh, they've got great leadership. There used to be. I used to have a point of view that there was a few countries or states that had good leadership, and in this moment, I don't see that. Now, as you're saying, whether you're a housewife or a janitor, what do you recommend for people to start doing or being in order to change the world we live in? Like, not by not making it wrong. It's just like it's sometimes people go, this is a lot. This
Mm,
is a lot that's going on. Maybe I
mm.
just hermit and I just stick to my, you know, like you said, like me being a housewife or a janitor or something like that. That's the best I can do. What would you say to people, anyone, just to sort of reach out and start choosing something different?
I think the first step is you got to look at what it is you want. Like, what kind of
Mm,
world do you want to live in, and what do you value and see as worth having?
mm,
Because once you know what you're shooting for, it's so much easier to get there. So I can boil it down to what I can see as there's three pretty pragmatic steps. First of all, you got to figure out what it is you're asking for. What is the world you want to live in? So for me, it's pretty clearly articulated. It is that, like, that change in that greed mentality. And
mhm.
so there's that. And I just want to preface the greed thing, because I don't think money is the root of all evil.
No.
That is not my point of view. I think money is a great thing. Look at my office. I'm surrounded with trinkets and treasure, and I like stuff. I like nice stuff.
Mm.
But I will not step on somebody to get it. Um,
That no, hang on, that. We need to
mm,
expand on that because I think that's the piece, because I think people make money this either or. Like if you have money, you're an asshole and you're a dick and you must be one of these people who function from greed. And if you don't have money, then maybe that's a good thing, blah blah blah. No, like you said, money's not the cause of it. It's like not the source of this. It's, well, I correct myself actually. Money creates one of the biggest racist points of view in the world, not the color of your skin, not your culture or your
mm,
religion. It is about money, and yet it's not money's fault. It's what people create with money. So I always say, like, if you have money, like money doesn't make you an asshole. You're an asshole if you're an asshole. Like it's
totally.
yeah. you can just have a more generosity of spirit if you have money. Like it's like, okay, you get to share it around, you get to, create a change or create some difference in the world. So I
Mm.
think it's a really interesting point to have a look at, because it's like, stop blaming others or blaming money. It's like, where you at? Where are you at?
Yeah. Yeah. So to exactly, yeah, there's that. So that's what I would love to live. So if my point of view is I want to live in a world where um that's what we choose, that we don't
Mm,
step on each other to get what we want, but we actually lift each other up and contribute to
yes.
one another. If that's what I'm after, and that's the energy I've identified as where I want to live and how I want to live, great. Then I choose it. I go, okay, so with everything that I'm doing, with everything that I'm being, with how I interact with my friends, with how I interact with my staff at work, what do I be and do and choose with and for them to have more of that
Yeah.
generosity energy in the world? Great. So there's that. There's the identification of it, the choice of it, and then the third element, which is in a way kind of the most important, is the question. You ask yourself and ask the universe constantly, how do I have more of this? Or what's required to bring even more of this into the world? Now, for most of us, I think that this thing we struggle with the most is we go into this how. So how do I create it? What do I got to do? How? The how actually is two of those elements, the choice and the question. Like, I'll give you a great example for everyone
Mhm.
listening. A young guy called me for a private one-on-one session, and he said to me, "I really want to take this one particular seminar, which was it's a licensing course, so that I can go and deliver these classes. And I don't have the money, so can you help me? How do I do it?" And I said, "Stop it." I said, "You know what you want. That's the identification part. That's the step one.
Yeah.
Now choose it. Say, I'm gonna have this, and ask, what's it gonna take to get it? Figure out what you want, choose it, and ask for it." And I said, "Stop. You're looking for the steps to get there because we want this like really straightforward linear progression. But the steps to get there, the how is the choice in the question. So do that." And he went, "Ah, I just want you to tell me how." And I went, "I did. The how is the choice in the
Mm,
question." And he went,
yeah.
"Okay, fine." The next day, Simone, he messaged me going, "My boyfriend gave me the money, but I didn't ask for it from him. I didn't even tell him that I wanted, like, that I was working towards this. I mentioned that I wanted to do it." And he said, "Hey, do you have the money to do that?" And he went, "No, I don't." And his boyfriend gave it to him.
I love it.
Mm,
I love it. And I want to reiterate about that demand in your world when you choose that, because the second thing when you said, like, choose it, right? I hear
mm,
so many people go, I'm choosing this. And it's like, no, just because you say I'm choosing it doesn't mean that you're actually choosing it. You've always got, so many people seem to have like this back door or this energy of doubt or disbelief or judgment. You want to pretend that you're asking for something, that you're choosing something, but you're actually not. And the only person that can call you up on that is you. It's like, for me, it's like, it's time to get brutally honest with what it is you, as you said, what world do you want to live in? What do you want to create? What do you want to choose? And I
mm,
have an example of this recently too, is I have looked at, I mean, if you've been listening to my podcast, you'll know many stories about me. And if you haven't, thank you for joining. um, the second book I ever wrote is called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully. And I did create myself to be quite a bit in debt, like 187,000 Australian dollars in debt. And the book is all the stories and the tools that I used of how to get out of debt. So I've been through that, no money, struggling, hustling to get rent every week. Like, that was just so normal for me. And then actually getting out of debt and realizing that's fucking boring. And I put myself back in debt again and went, hang on a second, there needs to be a different choice here. And then actually creating money and having money And then I started doing things like I bought my house. It's like I bought other investments, my stock portfolio, I bought commercial, like all these different things. So in this reality, you would go success, and I sat here and went, this is not enough. And it's not like not enough
Mm.
houses. It was just like, this is not enough. This is not fulfilling what I thought it would fulfill. I've like ticked these boxes of this reality, but what else is possible? And probably about 2.5 years ago, I started looking at what would I like to choose with the money that I create. And I went, oh, I'd like to create something greater on the planet that contributes to me, absolutely contributes to me, and also contributes to others. So what is that? And what is that energy and that space and that choice, And I started looking at things like we are both part owners of a castle in Italy, and man, that place is phenomenal. Like the space there is just like, whoa, it's so creative and such an invitation for a different reality. And El Lugar is a property in Costa Rica that we have, and I've invested over $2 million in El Lugar now. But I started looking at it and then directing my money towards that, right? And then just recently, I've been talking about I would like to have more horses to increase the breed of horse in Costa Rica, in El Lugar, so that the bloodline is amazing and wonderful and all that sort of stuff. And so I've been talking about it, and I started putting like a little bit of cash aside and going, oh, I'd love to buy a mare, blah, 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 all this sort of thing. And I realized the other day, like, because I spoke to a couple of the cowboys in Costa Rica, and they're like, yeah, we'll start looking. And in my world somewhere, Chris, I went, oh, they'll start looking. It's going to be a few months, blah, blah, blah. And then within days, they're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh. And like all of this that I've just described has taken its time. It's like there's been, choices and steps along the way. And then when you're asking for something and you're choosing it, and then it goes whoop and it's in your face. And I went, oh, it's sort of crunch time. Are you just going to keep talking about this, Simone, or actually are you going to choose it? And
Yeah.
I looked at it and I went, wow. And this mare, I went, oh my God, she's so beautiful. And then I went, yes, let's do it. And then I found out she has a 5-month-old foal. And me being me, I went, I can't take her away from the foal. How much is the foal? So I brought not one horse, but 2 horses. I mean, they're really good breeds, bloodline, blah, blah, blah. But it's not even just buying the horses. It's now like paying the monthly fee, etc., for these. And I realized that it was the choice of choosing that matched the energy and was congruent with what I'm asking for. So then it was like this, okay, step it up, like shoulders back, like let's go. I need to make more money to pay for these horses and possibly build an arena and all this, like reaching for that world that I would like to be a huge part of. And I am a huge part of creating and generating so that it can be here on this planet, but it's not, I think what I'm trying to get across is it's not like you sit here and you go, oh, I'm choosing this and that's easy. No, sometimes those choices have a little bit of like, find that courage, be tenacious with what it is you're asking for, with what you want to create in the world. Like you've got to actually reach up and out and trust that you
Mm.
got this, and
Mm.
I just want to say that because I know a lot of people go, oh, but you've got money. Yeah, I do have money. And sometimes I choose things that are at a stretch, which also empowers me and inspires I inspire myself to go for more. Okay, what else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? You know,
Yep. Yep.
that's my that's my example. So it's like it's such a different energy to be in. Because I get you really have to have that trust of yourself and trust of what it is you're choosing. And for me,
Mhm.
like the way you guys were talking about this whole leadership is to to make a choice, and like no matter where you live, no matter what occurs, to keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on choosing what that leadership energy is for you, what that opening up another door is for you. So
Mm.
I want to ask you too, it's like, what do you personally see yourself reaching for this year in 2026?
Good question. I have not. It's funny you say that because I'm not a great fan of resolutions, so to speak. Um, but in the last few years, I've looked for resolutions that were like last 2025, my resolution was to buy more queer art and art by gay, lesbian, bisexual, and trans artists. And that included books, that included paintings, all kinds of things. And I did it and it was a lot of fun. Um, this year, what I was looking for was I wanted to find more things that I could choose and do that were hobbies that I didn't monetize. And I realized, oh, that actually does tie into the like less of the greed energy and making everything about money, so to speak. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that they were kind of related. So I've like started to learn to knit and I've been reading more and that kind of thing. So there
You're
is
knitting. What are you knitting?
yeah. All kind like well, nothing much at the moment. Simple things that are square and in a straight line.
A
Nothing
scarf. I
complicated.
mean, I know when I knitted when I was younger, it's like I just knitted a billion scarves.
Yeah. And
It's so
and
easy.
but I like that example because like as I said earlier, leadership is a thing that people have attributed this like significance and importance to. And they love, we love, not they, we love to absolve ourselves of responsibility, right? Like we go, well, let's create this for the next generation. And we will foster a the young people coming to positions of power and having the skills and ability and capacity to lead. And I'm like, "Mm-mm, why? Why are you putting all that heaping all that on the kids' shoulders? You do it. You choose it. You know, like, we have this
Mm,
thing in Access Consciousness where we were talking about the capacity to change the world and change reality when there were certain numbers of people truly choosing and being in consciousness, and one of the list of things that we were asking for in Access was for the leaders to come to the fore, or sorry, the statesmen to come to the fore and politicians to step aside, right? But with that, even what I was looking at is what do people think that looks like? And do
mm,
they think for the statesman to come to the fore, that means that's not them, that's somebody else. So
mm,
I would love to my ask for this year too is to empower more people to know that they have the power and the agency themselves
mm.
to influence the world around them, to whatever degree or capacity that is. It does not
Yeah.
have to be like changing parliament. It could be just you're like in my apartment building here that I live in, we have a Facebook group. And you can be a voice for something different there. Or you shared in one of our WhatsApp threads the other day this guy who's 14-year-old kid in I think Connecticut or somewhere in the United States who looked at the Constitution and the rule book and went, "Hey, there's no reason I can't run for governor. It
Yeah.
doesn't say
Yeah.
like I may not be voting age, but I can still run according to the law." So he's
Yeah.
doing it.
I love that he looked at the law and there's no age requirement. I know, it's brilliant. So
Mm,
yeah. Um, it's funny you say that because I am Robert Irwin, you know, son of Steve Irwin, Australia Zoo. Like he's a catalyst of working with conservation, etc., and animals and nature and blah blah blah. He's actually, I'll put in a show notes his Instagram. It's like, please follow it. It's so fun. It's Robert Irwin Photography, because he's great at photography as well. But the other day he did this piece on like his generation having to be the change. And it was interesting, Chris, because just like that, I went, oh, I never thought of his generation being the change. I was putting it all on like my shoulders. And so
mm,
even though you're saying it's like the younger generation, I realized no, it is all of us. Like we all have to take, step up and just go, okay, what are we choosing, and what can we choose, and what can we create? But it was enlightening as well. Like it felt like I didn't have as much weight on my shoulders by listening to Robert Irwin, and how, I mean, he's like 24 or 25 or something. He's incredible and so
mm,
smart and such a kind, generous man, and brilliant at everything that he does. So I was like,
mm.
okay, good on him. Like, what else is possible with that? But I just, and not from fight or having to fix something. Like, we've got this. We've got this. And I think that we have to approach everything like that with we've got this. It's like a choice away, a choice, another choice, another choice, another choice.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted to read this out too. This is someone sent me this today, and Warren Buffett, who we all know is known as one of the most successful billionaires in the world, and mainly it's from stock trading, etc. But he's also quite known as a bit of a humble man. There's this article that says that his son Peter Buffett shared that he didn't fully understand how wealthy the family was until his 20s, when he noticed Warren Buffett listed among the world's richest people. And then he mentioned that it was one of the billionaires, and he said, I didn't even realize. And he said, because how he grew up was they lived in the same house that Warren Buffett bought in 1958. He attended public schools, rode buses, followed routines that felt deliberately ordinary and grounded. And his father said that that was his intentional believing that money should provide security and freedom, not identity or entitlement, and that success is best measured by values, independence, and the life you choose to live, not the image that you project.
Mm.
I'm like, I Warren Buffett takes it to an extreme as well, because like you, it's like I really enjoy having beautiful things around me or having beautiful jewelry and blah blah blah. But that's not a necessity, it's a choice, and I enjoy that choice. I think
And
if you
sorry to
go
cut
for
you
it.
off. And you don't, it's not about what it means to have those things for you. It's the
No,
enjoyment of it.
they're
Yeah.
pretty. Like,
Yeah.
I like my earrings, they're pretty.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
bought
And
these after way too many cocktails in Capri.
yeah. And it brings you joy.
It does. And I woke up in the morning and I went, did I wear those earrings last night? I went, yep.
Here they are.
Yep.
I
Goodbye.
love it. I love that he said that about the values and not the
Mm,
identity. It's like
yeah.
I've gone through, as you said, some rocky roads and some like I've had to pull my fat out of the fire a few times in the especially the last 3 or 4 years. But I'm grateful for every one of those situations and what it has taught me. And what I choose now with all the people in my life that I invite to be a part of my life is that we have shared values and not necessarily interests. Because I
Mm.
had for
Talk
a
more about
while,
that.
well, I had for a while friends who we maybe liked the same things, but it didn't occur to me until later that these were not good people. And I know good
Mm,
is a judgment, and judgment is to me a very corrosive thing, but
mm.
I I realized they didn't actually know who I was or like me for who I was. They liked me for what I had, and I went,
Oh,
"That's kind of
mm,
ugly." Like, I don't give a shit what somebody has or
mm.
doesn't have. I I'm more interested in, who they are than what they have. And you can have a lot more fun with people when you have shared values than shared interests.
I think there's also a lot more ease and like something that can grow from that. And I've actually got a good example of that too. Years ago, I had a really nice old guy who used to take care of my lawn, and he retired. And then he sold his business, and he sold his business to someone who was fine, but they sort of just came in and mowed my lawn. And I was like, I want someone different. I want someone who comes in and is with my backyard, with my garden, and really being in there. So I just asked, and literally, I was like, okay, please, universe, show me someone. Like, show me someone that can show up. And Shen, my assistant, saw this advert or something like that, and I met Will, my gardener, and I was his first job ever. He worked in my garden, and the first time, and I went out afterwards, and I was like, my God, this feels magical. Like, it just had this like really magical vibe about it, like that he was really honoring of the trees and the plants and the grass and the soil and everything. And I texted him that night and I said, hey, thank you so much. My garden feels amazing. And he texted me back and said, I hope you don't think I'm weird. And I was like, oh, here we go. He goes, there's like nature spirits in your backyard and fairies and blah blah blah. And I was like, yes, I found my gardener, you know. And ever since then, it's been a few years. We get on so well. He's like, I think I became a gardener so I could meet you. So, and that is like this shared values of how we be with the land. We have a project that we want to work on that I bought the domain name. I haven't moved on it, called 1 million backyard food forests. And the whole idea is to educate and empower people, no matter where you are. If you're in an apartment or you have a farm or you have a backyard, is that you can grow a food forest. You can be a part of that, even if it's one pot on your kitchen sill, you know, and empower people to know that that's actually possible. Because right now I have like 24 fruit trees, I have 12 banana trees in my backyard, and lots of different things growing that are going to take some time. Some will take 10, 15 years to grow, but it starts today, you know, with how you want to impact the earth with that. So, and then this week I said, I need a new cleaner. Like, my cleaner comes in like a fucking rampage, and she's got so many Airbnbs that she works in. So I'm like one of her jobs that she comes in and does the quickest possible. She doesn't have enough staff and then gets out, and everything just feels like it's like hasn't been taken care of. And we found someone today who I'm meeting this week, and the energy of her, Chris, is that shared value. Like that, I want someone to come in who cares about my furniture, who cares about, you know, where I put the plants, who cares about, like, you know, the laundry or whatever like that. And I think if we do seek that and ask for that, because a lot of times people go, oh, you won't, I'm not going to be able to find that. And I was like, Shem, we need to ask. Like, and this was 2 weeks ago. I was like, dear universe, please show me someone who could come and take care of my house, who like cares, literally cares for it and can clean it. So whatever it is that you're asking for, ask for it
Mm.
and allow it to show up. It's like, literally, dear universe, please show me what else is possible in regards to this. But instead, how many of you go to the judgment or the limitation of like, oh, you can't possibly do that, or you can't get that, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you invite people into your life. As Chris said, I think that's a brilliant comment about who have the same values as you, whether it's your house cleaner, your gardener, or, you know, I want someone who works with me that believes in nature spirits, because I do. So
Yeah.
come
Which,
play.
like, just to circle back, it's like that value thing that we're talking about, figuring out what your values are, what you actually care about, what you want. It kind of is that identification of the world you want to live in. Like, you want to live in a world where with people who care about things and see beyond the normal, quote unquote, with nature spirits, etc. That's
Mm,
what you value, and you can create that as your world if you take the lead and go, choose it and ask for it and
yeah,
let it show up. Like, it's not unusual these days for people to recognize that manifestation and having things actualize like magic is real and available, but you have to figure out what you want, you have to ask for it and choose it. Like, those
yeah,
3 things are like a recipe for having basically whatever you want. So we do not have, that's the other thing to me of what leadership is. It's not letting the world happen to you and taking getting in the driver's seat and going, okay, this is what I want, so I'm going to choose it and create it. I do not have to be victim to whoever's in power and gets to choose. No, you get to choose. It is you are not subject to anything.
yeah. Mm. That is very true. Thank you so much for saying that. I think that's a great end to our podcast here today.
Mm.
So, Mr. Christopher, I want to say thank you so much for joining me here on your Sunday, and have a wonderful trip. I know you are off to Egypt, Slovenia, and somewhere else.
Mumbai
Mumbai
and Poland.
and Poland.
So, well, you know how
Four,
I said no,
four places in 3 weeks.
I'm magic. Well, you know how I said non-monetized hobbies, etc. I
Uh-huh.
recognized as well that the world I was living in was I was doing all this travel, and the only reason I had for travel was work. It
Hmm.
was to go and deliver a seminar or go and do a jewelry show or go attend a seminar. It was always there was a thing I had to go and do. It wasn't just for fun.
Yeah.
And I was booking my ticket from Slovenia to Egypt. And there were 2 tickets that I could have chosen. Well, there was more, but the 2 I was looking at was a 2-hour layover in Warsaw
Hmm.
or a 24-hour layover in Warsaw. And I went, I've never been to Poland. Let's do it. Let's go
Nice.
explore. So I'm gonna have
Yeah,
one day in Poland just to go like poke around and see what the go is.
the
And
old town. Go to the old town. You're gonna love all the jewelry there too, and the amber and everything. Old town is
mm,
really cool. Mm,
cool. Yeah.
yeah,
So and I
yeah.
have a friend that I met there last year at an Access class in Prague. So I'm like, we're gonna catch up and go for dinner. So
Adrian.
no, Lukasz.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
have way too much fun
Hmm.
and enjoy your choices. And thank you so much, Mr. Christopher, for being on here. If you want to find out more about Chris, we're going to have all his details in the show notes. And please, again, we're going to put the details to the YouTube video that's on Access Consciousness with David, Megan, and Chris, because I also would like to invite people to a different possibility with leadership. And the three of you have spoken about it so brilliantly and empowered others to do that too. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. You're the best.
Thanks. So thanks, everybody. And I'll see you on the next podcast. Goodbye.
Bye bye.